Hey, what's up, coach? Welcome back. Today is episode 188, and the title is The Most Brilliant Advice from My Grandfather. And I will say that my granddad he has to be probably the most influential person in my life as far as, when I've had difficulties, I can go talk with him, and he is the most optimistic person I've ever been around in my life. And what I'm about to tell you is something that happened right before I started my business. And if you don't know my story, I talk very clearly about this in previous episodes about how I had an internship. It was a 4 to 6 month unpaid internship. And I was cleaning bathrooms. I was filling up Gatorade bottles for these kids. I was really just wasting my time because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I thought that I was going to get through this internship and get a job there and become a personal trainer for kids. And after that went south, I remember I had this extremely critical conversation with my granddad. And I remember I walked in to his condo and we were talking, and I said, you know what, Granddad, I just feel so lost right now. I just don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. And I just know that I don't want to work for anyone. And he looked at me and he was like, you know what? What would you do if you weren't worried about money? Tell me 3 things that you would do if you weren't worried about money. 3 things that you like to do. And at the time, I remember I was very interested in personal training, helping people lose weight. That's something that I kind of did on the side. And I was really interested in soccer training. And, when I told him that my ideas of either personal training or soccer training, he was like, well, Ben, you've played soccer your whole life. I know if you work hard enough and if you enjoy it, you'll find a way to make that profitable, and you'll find a way to be able to do that for a living as long as you want, as long as you just stay focused and work hard. Because if you like it, you're going to want to work harder at it. And I remember when he told me that, I walked out of his condo after we talked for a little bit longer, and it just gave me this confidence. And I realized, wow, if I just go after this thing and just have laser focus, then there's no way I could fail. And the funny thing is, a day later, I remember I was really hesitant. I was like, I came up with all these excuses about why I shouldn't do it. And I remember that happened for a couple of months. And it was something that really paralyzed me. And then I remember I talked to him again, and he kept me accountable. He asked me, well, hey, have you started this thing yet? What are you doing to make progress here? And I was honest with him. I was like, you know what? I just haven't really done anything yet. And because he kept me accountable, I just remember that really forced me to go do it. And it's crazy to think about this, but I know if I didn't have that conversation with my granddad at that specific time in my life, I would not be on these podcasts. And I know 100%. I know what I would have done. Because I was a little snowflake back then. I would have caved in, gotten a job, and I would have never been able to train the thousands of kids that I've worked with here in San Antonio. I would have never been able to work with all these coaches in our consulting program. I wouldn't have been able to do anything. And getting that advice at that time was priceless. And here's why I'm telling you this, though. It's because whoever you surround yourself with, they're either going to build up your idea or they're going to tear it down. And I could have easily had a granddad who would have been like, dude, that sounds so stupid. What are you talking about? And that would have sucked to have that type of advice. And I know a lot of people get that type of advice. They're not surrounding themselves around others who are optimistic and are like, yeah, you should do that. And then on top of that, a lot of you guys aren't around anyone who's keeping you accountable. And I can tell you, just having that that conversation really changed my outlook. And I know now, after going through that, I wanted to create this episode to show you that, like, you know what? If no one supports what you want to do, like I do, I support what you want to do. I am living proof that this type of business can work if you stay focused and if you really enjoy it. Like, if you really enjoy coaching kids and you have the passion and desire to help kids, you can be as successful as you want. And it's not up to me, it's up to you. Like, you have to make the decision to do it. And yeah, so I just wanted to give my granddad a shout out, because like that changed my life. Like, that honestly changed the course of my life by having that conversation. And yeah, so that's it for today's episode, guys. I hope this helps you out. And if you want to take the next steps here, head over to our website, go to www.buildmysportsbiz.com and click on Mastermind. That is how I can personally help you grow your business this year. So that's it. I'll catch you later.